Hello, hello my Stitchy friends, welcome back. My name is Laura, you found Lala D Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Of course, welcome back if you're a regular, and if you're new, I'm so glad you found me. This video is one of my more impromptu videos I've done. It's been 2 or 3 weeks since my last video. I feel like the last one was at the end of August. And I had planned to come back last week, but my husband was off work. We did a little staycation, and I just don't get anything done when he's home. It's fun. We just have fun. And then we went to the state fair, and I came home with a typhoid Mary of some kind. I don't know. You might hear it in my voice. I'm hoping my voice holds out. I have a pretty terrible cough, but other than that and wicked tiredness, I'm feeling pretty okay. So it just hit me this morning. I was like, what if I did a video? So here we are, hoping the voice holds out and that I don't have to pause to cough or anything. I have some water in my giant water cup, and we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. So hopefully you can hear me okay. And yeah, let's see what I've been working on. Let's just give a moment first though for my shirt, which is kind of an if you know you know moment. Do it, lady. There's this skit on TikTok, and this guy named Chip wrote a birthday card that said "Do it, lady" in it. It was at like a work environment, and I'm like, what does this mean? And he's like, you know, do it, lady. All the things, all at once, on your birthday. And so, on my birthday, I actually wrote in my planner, which I think I have right here. I could show you. It was so funny. I always try to write something silly in my planner for my birthday. So I wrote, do it, lady, on your birthday, which was just a funny little joke for me. And when my sister picked me up to excuse me, see, this is what I was afraid of. When my sister picked me up for our fun day out, we went to a bookstore and out to lunch. I was like, you know, this is what I wrote in my planner. It's so funny, ha ha ha. Now all I need is a shirt that says "Do it, lady" to wear all day, because it'll just be in theme. Well, she must have been chuckling inside the whole day. It must have been all she could do not to say something. Because then that evening when I opened my birthday present, this is what she had given me. She knows me well. Anyways, so it's now my favorite shirt. Do it, lady. All the things. Anyways, so little thing there. Anyways, thank you for all the birthday wishes, and yeah, it was a nice day. We had a good time, and yeah, anyways, another year around the sun, right? I have some Stitchy progress to show you. I have haul for the first time in a little while, and some Stitchy kindness, and some of that is most of it is birthday related. Anyways, so, and I've done a couple new starts, and then I've rearranged a couple of my previous plans for starts, which you'll see as we go. So, settle in, find yourself a little libation, and hot or cold, depending on what your environment is, what feels cozy. We are having beautiful weather. Today's the warmest day it's been in a few days. The last few days have been spectacular, like high around 75, 71 even a couple of days. And I have to say, I'm ready for those lower 70s, high 60s. I feel like that's my comfort zone. I can wear a couple layers. I feel cozy. But you can still go out in the sunshine and take a walk and not have to bundle up. Anyways, we're heading into that sweet spot before it gets cold. And hopefully wet. It's been so dang dry. I'm ready for rain. We had one day of rain. Was that 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Anyways, maybe it was 3. I don't know. You'd think the day would be burned in my memory because it's, we have not had much rain here. It's been a very, very dry summer and spring, frankly, and all of it. It's all been dry. Anyways, we're hoping for rain, cooler temperatures. We've had a lot of red flag warnings, which is, for our area, the warnings specifically have been very dry with high winds, which means fire danger. And I'm tired of that. We don't want any fires. Thank you very much. Please don't come again. So let's talk stitching, because fires are dumb. Unless they're in a fireplace. Just Cross Stitch is hosting a stitch along called Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine, which I am slowly trying to plug away at. I'm trying to keep up, but the first day of autumn, I've been timing mine by the equinox, and I made it for spring, and I don't think I'm gonna make it through summer. I'm getting close, but I'm stitching what makes me happy this year, like a pirate, and they've released the latest part. I haven't bought the latest magazine. I went into Barnes & Noble, and they didn't have it yet. Excuse me. Which is the only place I've seen it locally for me. And so they don't have it yet, and that's okay because I do get it free through my library. And I did print off some small, kind of blurry images of that. So on Sunday, which I believe is the first day of autumn, I could put my first few stitches in on the autumn section. And I think I've decided that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to move on to the autumn section and keep plugging away at the summer section, and it'll get done. It'll get done. Anyways, here's where I sit. The lighting is, bright. It's very sunny. We're gonna do our best to not overexpose this beauty. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. Let's see if I can, which side is better? Because that's kind of the right colors. We're just very bright. That's okay. We're just gonna embrace the brightness and you'll see it again. This is on a 32 count linen that I over-dyed myself. I get lots of questions about what dye I used. That's a really excellent question. I believe I used taupe. It's all Rit dye for sure. I believe I used taupe and maybe some charcoal. Maybe some sage, maybe. Because those are my 3 favorites that I have. But the linen base was a cream, so I feel like that is important. In my experience, your base definitely affects your finished result, because color, right? If there's some color, it's going to be different than if there's no color to start with. So anyways, this is where she is. She's so beautiful, and I wish the lighting was good. I'll take some pictures. Sorry, I'm wiggling it around so much. My goodness. Come on, Laura, get it together. This is one of my favorite moments, this leaf. The 3 colors of green are stunning. They are so juicy and gorgeous, and they're never going to show in camera like they do to the naked eye. But I'll try to, oh, that's pretty good. It's so pretty. I'll try to take some good pictures and share on Instagram because it's good. Anyways, I'm feeling good about my progress. There's still work to do, but because I started here, I have an easy branch into this next lower quadrant, which is where autumn is going to go, and I'm really excited to get into those rusty colors. You can kind of see from my little floss card, we've got some really gorgeous oranges and reds that I'm certain will be, and these juicy browns, kind of rusty browns. Anyways, I'm sure those will be utilized a lot in the next section, and I'm very excited for it. Okay, next, these are not in the order I stitched on them, but I kind of tried to clump them together by either theme or like these next couple were around my birthday starts, because I did no stitching on my birthday. I was too busy partying and having fun. And but in the 2 days after my birthday, I tried to start a couple of new things just for funsies, and I still have a couple that I really want to start. So Unicorn Blue Flower, which is my My Little Pony stitch. She's so pretty, and I love the butterflies and the irises, and I saw it and I was like, want that. So I kitted her up on a 28 count Lugana from Bestitch Me. The color is Nightshade, and right now everything is super ghosty, but it's not going to stay that way, and I'll show you the flosses. Let's see, how do you sit? She sits like this. Okay, you can see it. Ghosty, but and if I get it in like the other colors, that's kind of the color it is. It's a beautiful pink periwinkle that I've been hoarding for just the right project. And here, if I could do it without being all snarly and messy, here are the colors. So we've got some light blues and these deep, rich colors. And if I hold this up where you can actually see it, with the picture, you'll see mostly, there's a ton of backstitch, and it's mostly the darker colors that are going to sit right against the fabric. So I'm not worried about her ghosting in the end. She's very ghosty right now. You can kind of see this is her ear and the first flower, and then this is the kind of her jawline here and her hair. So just kind of an outliney start, but good things are coming. She's gonna be so gorgeous. So gorgeous. Anyways, but right now she's kind of a ghost. Let's see here. Plop. Okay, this next one was a spontaneous start. I've had this pattern since, I don't know, 2017 or something. I feel like it was one of the early projects I purchased as I was really diving back into the cross stitch realm universe. Ghoul Tide Welcome. It's everywhere right now. I've seen a lot of people stitching it, and in fact, Red Velvet Quilts is my my inspiration. She is the fastest dang stitcher. I swear we started this around the same time, and I was feeling pretty good about what I had done. But she, oh my goodness, that woman stitches like the wind. It's amazing. Anyway, her project is gorgeous. You should go check it out. I'm stitching this on a, where are my notes? Antique lamb's wool, a 32 count Witchold. And I have done my own color conversion just from stash, because I didn't have 90% of the colors, and I really wanted to stitch it, and I had the fabric and the pattern, and it was like, okay, I can make this happen. With a little work, I can make this happen. So here's where we are. Try to get good coloring. Oh my gosh, it's so satisfying. I'm stitching it 2/2, and this black that we're seeing is Classic Colorworks Blackbird. Yum, scrumdiddly. And it's almost a brown black. You can kind of see that in there, that fuzzy little blurry color variation. But I love that, and I picked that intentionally. I loved the hint of warmth behind the black. And then I've chosen, what is that color? German Chocolate, also by Classic Colorworks, is what my little acorns are gonna be. And I just threw a couple in there to test the color and see if that was gonna work out. And yes, she's gorgeous. I wasn't sure if I didn't want to go a little bit more red with it, just based off of this plastic covered photograph, but I'm so excited. And I think what really tipped me over on this one was there was a hashtag that started around the 1st of September that is which witch which witch will you stitch? Anyways, I was like, this has a witch in it, and that's an excuse to start it, and that's about all I need. No laughing. No joy to be had. Stop it. Anyways, here are my colors. I've picked all but one, it looks like. I'm still short one. And I think they'll be fun. It is charted originally in MPIs with a DMC conversion, and I used the DMC conversion to pick overdyes. So, because I'm extra or something. But I love that. I haven't worked on it in like a week, and I'm ready to pull it out again because she's pretty. Okay. This next one I found, I've been trying to go every other weekend for the last month or so to one of my LNS's Stitchery Express, and on Saturdays they host Sit and Stitch Day, which is free to come and stitch. And it's a dangerous practice because they have scads, oodles, a plethora of patterns and temptations available. And I usually wind up leaving with something. Anyways, I came across this and I just about died of love. So this is, let's see if I can get her to focus. She's old school photo. There we go. Lady of the Thread. She's so beautiful. I'm sorry I don't have a better way to show you a picture. But it's okay. She's going to get some love, some TLC. So this was my unofficial birthday start, and she took the place of I was going to start Friends of a Feather, I think is what it's called, which is a butternut road pattern. This is a Lavender and Lace is the designer, and it was charted in 1988, so it's almost as old as I am. Anyways, I picked not a black, but this even weave that I overdyed last autumn that has also been being hoarded for the right project. This is what they call it, blowing out. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard one to get to show. It is so rich and scrumdiddly. Anyways, as soon as I got the greens, so it's interesting in the picture, her dress looks almost like a yellow, golden, greeny brown. It's a funky color. They're actually the most gorgeous greens. Where are my flosses? Oh, I didn't put them here. Well, next time. Anyways, as soon as I saw the greens on this fabric, I knew it was going to be spectacular. And I'm loving that her cuff, which also reads very white in the picture, and it's going to be the same color combinations into her skirt, they're actually baby blues into white. So it's, as is typical, especially in older charts, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I cannot get this to show well. Kerminus. Okay-ish. Anyway, as is so often the case, the pictures do not do the color choices justice. This is a 28 count. I think this is a 28 count even weave. I'm stitching 2 over 2 with the called for colors. And that's just her hand in the middle that's going to be holding. There's an embroidery hoop in here, and this is the fabric coming into her lap. Anyways, this is like her bum, basically, and the bodice of her dress under the neck ruffle. Anyways. But the border, the little oval that she's sitting in is so gorgeous. It has the flowers and it looks like some fruits and that golden butterfly up in the corner behind her. I love it. I love it so much. And I'm super excited to get more stitching into her. I need to pick up more. Her dress is in the 730s range in DMCs, and I am low on one or two of them. So I had some, enough to get started, but one of the reasons she's not farther than this is because I didn't have enough to keep going. That's okay. A stop at the shop will fix that problem. Okay, then I worked on a couple of owl projects because that just felt good. This was my birthday start 2 years ago, and I've made tiny progress every year on it. But it's this beautiful, somebody told me what this was called. I think they said it was in Romanian. Maybe that's a different project. I have a lot of projects from overseas because my mother is the internet sleuth of cross-stitch projects. And anyways, sweet, sweet owl with those autumn leaves. I love his little curious nod. Oh, I love it. I did swap out, so this was a kit. Here are the flosses, and I swapped, snarly little flosses. I swapped out the original fabric, which was a 14 count Aida, for a 32 count linen. Let's picture this plus pewter, which I love. This color is gorgeous. And it was very, very consistent with the provided Aida, so just gives a little, see, that's good. That's true to color. It's gonna blow out, but colors are so pretty. Anyway, so I worked more up in this part of his head and then got that branch in and the first hint of our leaves, which is very exciting. I need to finish his curious little face, but the pattern is in 2 sheets and I need to glue them together so that I don't miscount, because I ran into that problem in the crossover between pages. The first year I was working on this, it was very bummery. So I had to rip some out, which is so painful on these blendy these blendy charts, especially when you're working with a finite amount of floss. And I don't think these are DMCs. They could be, but they have a bit more of a sheen to them than DMC does typically. Anyways, they're gorgeous. He's gorgeous. And yeah, I'm pleased with my progress. He's not going away anytime soon. I'm feeling my owls. And I'm blaming Jen from Jen's Fiberweb because she's doing an owl themed month. And I think watching her Flosstube, I've been easily influenced, fortunately from within my whips, but for the most part. But you know, I don't know where I was going with that. It's fine. Sick brain, we'll call it that. Forest Embroidery's 100 Owls. I started this in January or for 12 by 12 or something like that. And I had put it away for a couple of months for no particular reason. Oh, here's my card. I started it on the 30th. So this must have been... Where did I go? I don't know. I went on an adventure, apparently. Sorry, excuse me. I know the grunting is so attractive. Anyways, I started it on December 30th. And this says 2023. Apparently I've been slowly picking at this more slowly than I thought. So it's a little older than I thought. That's okay. I'm stitching it on 28 count Valor from Picture This Plus. And here is where it sits. Get some kind of clear before it blows out. Oh, it's so pretty. I am doing, so this is charted with their, it's a free, oh my goodness. Or swirly. It's fine. This was a free stitch along. It's still available on their website. And there are several people doing this. In fact, I think there's a new stitch along that started with September. Anyways, I already had it going, and I felt inspired to pull it back out again. I am not using their floss. I'm stitching with stuff from Stash, and it's totally random. Every section, I'm pulling floss every section, and I'm basing it, whoa, sorry, I can't hold things still today. I'm basing each owl off of their real owls, because the owls are based off of real owls in this project. So I'm looking up their pictures and pulling floss accordingly. And this time I did this upper line of owls and our corners. And in the original, this is quite gray, almost a purpley gray. But that's not what that owl looked like to my eyes. So this was my choice. I had pulled a gray as an option just to keep it more like the original, and then I decided, nope, I'm just gonna keep going with my little theme. And it's been fun, these little in-between almost Quakery motifs are kind of where I'm throwing in some either earthiness or some color. And I have picked out the next section of owls, which will go right in here, a big one, and then I think a couple of smaller ones here. And they're very rusty, these owls. And then we're gonna get in our little Quakery motifs. I've picked out some with like some blue in it. These cottage gardening samplings are threads. I've collected I have a small collection that I've gathered over the last couple of years, and my first exposure to them was in the library by Mojo Stitches, and that's what that project is charted in originally. And I thought, okay, I'll just give it a shot. They're gorgeous. Can't go wrong. The problem is they're gorgeous, and so I've continued to collect some over the years because they're so beautiful. They're just scrumptious, and some of them are subtly variegated and some of them are highly variegated. Which is fun to play with, especially on a project like this that gives a lot of freedom to introduce those more dynamic changes in some spots. Anyways, this was really fun to work on again. I love, love, love it. I'm sorry my colors aren't showing great this time, but it's okay. Again, you'll see it again. It's not going anywhere. And other days we'll have better lighting. This is what happens when we're spontaneous. Okay, next one I worked on is Cicada's Song Sampler, which is one of two samplers I've actually stitched on for Sampler September. I pulled out 3 or 4, and you know, it's just not where my heart was, so that's okay. This is by Cosford Rise, and it's gorgeous. I'm stitching it on a 32 count Vintage Country Mocha linen, and the colors are so rich on it. I love it. I worked up in the border with some fill-in, and then I finished the alphabet. I did find, I mentioned my last video that I was missing or out of Oscar, Weeks Dye Works Oscar, which is what the alphabet and a lot of these, all of the leaf accents, which are now filled in on this top row, are. Anyways, I found some. So thank you to those who offered to send me some. I had a couple people reach out, and I actually accepted the offer for one person, but then we never exchanged addresses because life got busy, and then I got sick. And anyway, so I should write this down. I'm going to write this down. Message about Oscar. Anyways, I don't need it anymore, so she can keep it in her stash for when she needs it. Anyways, I still love this project. I've started barely filling in that roof, which would probably be my next goal point so that we can work down into the mill. But she's gorgeous. The border is fiddly, but so rewarding. So rewarding. Lots of starting and stopping. It goes slowly. Oh my goodness. Worth every stitch. Worth every snip. Oh, everything's falling. It's okay. Loving this, yes. And the colors, because they're so rich, they feel, even though it's not strictly an autumn project, it feels very autumn still. It's just rich and warm and has all the vibes. This came out of the woodwork. Here, you can see the words there. Into Dreamland, which is my grown-up secret garden magical lady. I want to be her. She's so beautiful. I started this a couple of years ago. I don't have my card for this, but oh my gosh, this kit is spectacular. I had some concerns at the beginning that the Aida would be stiff. It is not. It is delightful to work on. And I've just been working on, it's so funny, full coverages are so funny because you don't really see a lot of the progress without comparison. So I've filled in pretty much all of this caramel, and then this deep dark green I did, and I worked up on a few holes up here along the top. Anyways, but if you look closely, I'm getting very excited because if you look really closely, this is actually her hairline, and you can kind of see like where her hair is pulled back, and then this is like the shadows in her hair. So we're about to get down into excuse me. I'm so sorry. We're about to get down into some recognizable features. There's a lot of work, hundreds of stitches to do, but I've been using my full coverages as my participation in Andrew the Runner Stitcher's Whip into Shape. I can't speak anymore. It's okay. I'm gonna go take a nap. Anyway, so I had done some work on some of my summary full coverages, and then I fell off the wagon in August, and I'm super excited to be working on this again. I don't know how many stitches I did. Several hundred. Probably not enough to technically be keeping up, but that's okay. She's gonna stay out for a while. At least until Christmas time, because I do have a Christmas themed excuse me, a Christmas themed full coverage. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so sorry. And now I'm gonna stop apologizing because I don't want the whole video to be just me saying I'm sorry. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, she's gorgeous. I love her. I really want to start breaking down into, the pattern is broken into like 3 layers of pages or widths. I want to break down into that second layer. Anyways. Just watch me scrap this whole video because I'm coughing. It's gonna be okay. Okay, the second sampler I worked on is Charlotte Griffith, which was my birthday start last year. She's so beautiful. The colors are so good. They're so good. The only tweak I'm doing to this, other than the fabric choice, I'm stitching mine on 32 count linen from Bestitch Me. The color is Mocha, which is gorgeous. I want more of it every time I look at it. But the only thing I've done is slightly shifted by 11 stitches. I just shifted this row over so it's more centered. I've left everything else the same so far. And I don't foresee any other tweaks, but this is where I am. I almost have the whole phrase in. Teach me. My T needs like 4 more stitches. I ran out of floss. Don't you hate it when that happens? You're like, I'm almost there, but you just really can't even thread chicken it. So, so pretty. Can you see the colors in this linen? It is so warm and rich, and it has these blush and almost golden colors in the, it's not going to show. Anyways, she's gorgeous and perfect for once we get down into the blooms. There's a really weird way to hold this, Laura. Anyways, I'm excited to get into some of these other colors, but I want to get the phrase finished. Oh my goodness, this is absurd. I'm gonna get clips. There we go. I would like to get the phrase finished, and then there's a line of greenery, I guess, that goes under that divides the phrase from the floral motifs below. So I'd love to get that in, and then get some more work on the border perhaps. But the closer, we've still got a couple weeks of September, but the closer we get to October, the more inclined I am to switch into spooky stitching. Oh, it's okay. I can do what I want, right? I don't need that. This one I really mostly just worked on the bones of. This is Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. It's a set of 9 charts that come separately. These are the 3 I have yet to complete, but I did get the bones in for them. So we have the full size of the design, which is pretty exciting. And then I got just the roof of the well started and the 2 corn stalks or sunflower stalks, whatever those are. Yeah, that felt really good. That feels like a really big progress point. Why can't I find words? I have a better vocabulary than this, I swear. It's fine. Yeah, I still need to fill in that house up in the top center. I'm out of bamboo currently, and I'm considering just using 3865 for that, since I haven't stitched any of the white in there yet, because then I would be completed. I'm pretty sure that's the called for substitute for oh, they just say white. Well, I could do a color comparison, see what will look better. I feel like 3865 might be prettier, but that's just because I like it, perhaps. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I say it every time, but I love those little chickens. So cute. And it's such a fun project, and it's stitched on 30 count portobello, which I'd never stitched on before, and that is now my go-to rustic linen. It's so pretty and so comfortable to stitch on. Okay, the last thing I actively stitched on is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, which I am doing an abbreviation of. Is that the right way to say that? Sure. I'm keeping this banner at the top, and then I have cut it down to 6 squares, and this is my layout. And that is mostly for the purpose of, there are a couple of Halloween specific designs, but I'm also quasi-stitching Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I've done 1 whole square, and by 1 whole square I mean literal outline square. But there's reasons, and it's fine. But I've decided to omit those two, put them into Hawkrun Hollow, Halloween, and then I've cut out, I think I cut that one out and that one out. So, and that one. Anyways, basically, we've cut it down to the 6 blocks that are my most favorite, and it keeps it strictly autumn, and that works for me. So, plus, my fabric, when I bought it years ago, was a brain glitch in a big giant way. It was never going to fit all of them unless I stitched it 1 over 1, which I wasn't about to do because that's just not what I enjoy. Anyways, here, show them what you've done, Laura. Show the people what you've done. Big progress. We have finally broken out. I swear, the last 2 years I've been working up in this banner, and I still have the, you know, the leaves of the corn. The husk, that's not the husk. That's the, I don't know. The husk would be covering that. Anyways, whatever that's called. I have like half of these leaves and that to do still. I know, it's kind of dumb to leave them, but you know, it's fine. We'll come back to it. But I did both boxes, started on the lines for the next boxes below, and I did all of what is in here. That first awesome quirky owl, he is so grumpy and funny. I love him. I love him so much. This one I'm also converting to over-dyed flosses from my stash, and it's another one of those that is originally charted in MPI or DMC. There are still some DMCs being left in a few spots. I'm pretty sure all of the corn was just the called for DMCs, and then I know that some of the smaller details in both owls I've left as DMC. The borders I am using 310, so some things stay, some things shift. I love it. He's so cute. He's so grumpy. Look at that little face. So much fun. And it was exciting. I actually just finished this border last night. And that opens up stitching in that square, which is pretty exciting. I was listening to Samantha the Huga Stitcher yesterday as I was sewing, and she was talking about somebody, she didn't say who she was watching that did it this way, but somebody she was watching had been working on this project, and they did all the boxes, and they'd stitch a few things in this, and then stitch a few things in this, and stitch. They basically put elements of each box in, and then came back to it, and that way there was growth, visible growth, and recognizable things in the boxes, and they still had work to be done for a while, but then it just felt like there was more going on. And I am going to use that mystery person's idea. I think that's a great idea. I love that, especially since I'm a seasonal stitcher. This is going to take, you know, years to do. And I am in no way monogamous in my stitching. And yeah, so I think that's a really fun idea. So I have my colors chosen for this one. I might go ahead and plot out the colors for the next one, and we'll just see, you know, what feels like fun to stitch. Or maybe I'll just do border stitching. Border stitching has proven to be a really therapeutic kind of stitching for me this year. I started out earlier this year doing border stitching in the morning with the ideas of getting those bones in so that I could do the fun parts when I pick it up. But I've actually found that I'm really enjoying those simple, you know, lines of stitching. And sometimes when my head's really bad, I struggle with pretty significant migraines these days. And so I typically stitch larger, and yeah, I'm enjoying those borders on the days I really want to stitch, because it's very grounding to stitch for me. I think it is for most stitchers. That's why we enjoy it. It's peaceful, it's comforting, and anyways, those days when I can't really handle confetti stitching, or I don't have anything available to just like mindlessly fill in, those borders are turning out to be a very comfortable place to stitch. So yeah, but then I'm not doing it in the mornings anymore. I don't stitch in the morning very often these days. I did through the winter fairly consistently, but I haven't been for the past 4 months or so. So that's okay. Everything comes and goes. Okay, so let's talk first. So the next section is going to be plans and my haul. So it's not a ton, but it's some fun stuff, so I hope you'll stick around. The first one is, the first 3. I did order a few patterns from August Needlework Market, and they have come, and I've been working on kitting them up. So the first one is Garden of Shadows by Sprouting Lupine, which was, you know, kind of a given, I guess, for me. I saw it and I was like, yes. It's a companion piece to, I don't remember what the other one is called, but she has another unicorn that's in a more traditionally colorful themed, I don't know if that's the right way to put it. This is spooky and dramatic and awesome. It's so cool. Anyway, so I've been working on kitting that up. I have most of the flosses, but I didn't have a fabric that worked well. So I dyed a piece of my cream linen. It's the same linen base that Nature's Journey was on. And I was actually kind of going for a Nature's Journey palette. I was trying to figure out how I did it. I didn't. But I found something darker and moodier and cool. And so this is my result. Let's see if we can get, I don't know. It's charcoal. That's the only dye I used on this, was charcoal on that cream. Kind of there, that's better. But it has a neat brown undertone. It's really cool. And when I put the floss on it, which are not on a card yet, so they're kind of a mess, but the most important things that have to show, I'll pull those 2 out, are the unicorn and the tree, because they're our deepest moments. And 500, those deep leaves, those need to show too. The first fabric I pulled, everything showed great except for 3799 and 500. They're falling everywhere. Need to get that floss card made up. I meant to do that, but like I said, this is a little impromptu, so here we are, doing our best. So let's see if I can do this. So this is the 500. It's definitely going to show. I mean, it's dark, but it's going to show. 3779. It's the closest to the fabric, but again, still, it's going to show. And then, of course, black, which is that whole tree and the body of the unicorn. It's going to be perfect. I'm very excited. This is definitely going to get a start sooner than later. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be so good. And you couldn't go too light with it because these elements, even the flowers, you know, all of these mushroom stems, I didn't want them to ghost. I love how they pop. I love how dynamic the oranges and yellows are in this chart. And then, of course, that gorgeous long horn, which feels very antique, how long they made it. Some of the more modern unicorn horns are fairly short, but in historical tapestries and paintings, the horns, I mean, they could be as long as the body of the unicorn. So it's fun to see a bit more traditional, even though, of course, it's very modernized. Anyways, I love it. I'm very excited for that. My other, let's see if I can pull this out. I didn't realize I had my picture covered. I got Barnesville from Carriage House Samplings, which is gorgeous. And I think I have a fabric I like for it. It's a little more green, a little more intense than what they had, but I mean the colors are a bit more intense than what the picture shows too. So these are the called for DMCs. I think it's gonna be good. I'm only missing a couple of colors, and I don't think I'm gonna start this one immediately, but it's fun to play with kitting it up. Could I hold this any more awkwardly? This is the gymnastics version of Flosstube, where we see how awkward we can make it. Anyways, so what I like about this is that the whites, which is not a true white, I think it's 822 or something like that. Ecru. Never mind, I'm a liar. Ecru. So Ecru shows really nicely. And I really didn't want that to ghost because, and it's probably just the picture. It's probably just the picture, but in the picture even, the Wyoming mountain range, which I'm assuming has to be the Tetons, because these are all barns they saw on their trips across the country, right? So we've got Texas, Pennsylvania, Wyoming, Nebraska. A couple of them don't have labels on them, but I've seen that barn. I've seen that barn. It's gorgeous. It's this old historic barn. Anyways, I didn't want that mountain range to ghost too much, so I'm happy that the ecru is going to show really strongly on there. I just have to kind of commit to that fabric. Anyways, but like I said, this isn't going to be started this year. It'll probably be a next year start. So pretty. I was drawn to it fairly strongly. And then the last one I got is Blue Corn by Ink Circles. I love it. It's so, I don't know, there's something peaceful about it. The moons and the simple color palette. There's only 3 colors in it. And that brings me to my first birthday. It's kind of in conjunction, separate but in conjunction. My first birthday gift was from my friend. She gave me this lovely card. And then she sent me a couple of patterns and a couple pieces of fabric, which is like, So this first one is an Atomic Ranch. That purple. Ugh. I've been looking very hard for something to put on this. It's so good. The right project will come. She suggested something Halloween, and I can totally see like strong orange on here. That would be such epic contrast. Anyways, so that's gorgeous. The other piece of fabric though that she sent is Mystic Fabrics, which I've never stitched on before. It's a Lugana. It's so pretty though. Yeah. Oh my gosh, washing out. That's pretty close. But I was thinking this could look really pretty on that. We'll see. I haven't pulled the colors yet. But maybe I'll decide I want it to stay more still, not have so much going on. But it's just a brain thought. I thought of this as soon as I saw the fabric. So, and then the last thing she sent is this gorgeous set of leaflets, Country Season Series by Linda Myers. Oh my goodness. My heart went pitter-pat. I love them so much and I want to start them ASAP. They're so pretty and I'd never seen them before. When were these published? 1980. They're so pretty. Anyways, I already pulled some. They stitched them on, was it white or ivory? Ivory Ada. So I have some sort of ivory creamy linens that I think will work, at least for a couple of them. Anyways, they're so beautiful. I love them. I love vintage charts. It's weird that 1980 is vintage. I don't know why. Because I'm an 80s baby probably, but anyways, so thank you. I've already thanked her, but thank you again. I'm so excited. She also included an owl chart, which I don't know why it's not in my stack, but we'll see it in time. Okay, so then if you dye one piece of fabric, you have to dye as many scraps as you can find. So I dyed a few, and I'm trying to learn. I'm pretty good at saturated, rich, dynamic, awesome funness, right? But I'm trying to learn more subtle, more blended marbling. And so I kind of played, these are tea-dyed Adas, and I got a couple different levels, which was fun just by, it's not going to show very well in this light. Anyways, trust me, this one's a little bit lighter than this one. Just by how long it sat in the tea. And then these wound up pretty nice. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You would never believe that this was the most neon yellow. And at first I wasn't sure I would like it, but after it dried I was like, ooh, it's kind of fantastic. Just this light olive green. Anyways, so that was fun. I always have fun with dyeing. I never keep track of what I'm doing. I'm just playing with colors. But those will be great. And I did dye a couple of others for specific projects. One is a Christmas one, so you'll see that later this year. And then the other you'll see in my, we don't plan here this year. 2025 is the year of pirates and no plans. Or at least making plans and breaking them. But okay. So, oh, this I found the same day I found our beautiful Lady of the Thread. I just think especially this center partridge, which you can see they stitched separately and then they did little ornaments. I might do it that way. Maybe I'll stitch them all as one. Oh, here's a bigger picture of the partridge. But she's so pretty. Love that. So, picked that up, and the last thing I got that day, I bought 3 patterns that day. I was out of control. But in a good way. This I fell in love with. Autumn in the Village by Stony Creek. And they have, it looks like all 4 seasons. And then I tea-dyed a piece of Lugana because it wasn't quite warm enough. I just wanted a little bit more juiciness. Here is most of the colors for it, and I'm starting this one either today or tomorrow. I'm starting it ASAP. I was going to start it last week, but then I decided that the fabric wasn't quite right. Let me see if I have the original color. No, I don't have the original color of the Lugana written down, but I'm much happier with this. Just a little bit warmer, a little bit more cozy autumn vibes. So we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be fun. And I'm just kind of like rolling through these pretty quickly. I was going to try to keep this around an hour, and we're at 59 minutes and 10 seconds. So you might have noticed that I have not shown you my unicorn, which was going to be my birthday start. I chickened out. But I'm not permanently chickened out. It was a temporary chickening, and I'm going to start it this week. I promise. Before the end of September, my first Teresa Wensler will have stitches. And just to prove that I am trying to get started on this, I have counted up to my corner. See? This is not showing well, but it's so pretty. And not quite as dramatic as it looks in the camera right now. Anyways, I'm gonna do it. Do it, lady. Okay. One more fun Stitchy kindness, and then I have 3 charts that are in the works. I don't know why I'm putting that in quotes. Quotes are my thing today. Anyways, this is from a lovely gal who reached out and she said, hey, I'd love to send you a package of goodies if you're willing to share your address. And I was like, I like goodies. Yeah, please. Thank you. That'd be awesome. But I did not think she meant the goodies. She meant, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So the first thing, my husband, when I opened this, he's like, somebody sent you wood? But what it is, I knew as soon as I saw it, it is a stand shelf sitter assembly by Chantel's141.com. Anyways, but my tiny villages. I'm so excited as I swing around wood. This is gonna be so awesome. I'm so excited for this. It makes me want to gather my other the nativity and the turkey one and then the winter one, and I'm going to be starting the Halloween one on October 1st. Anyways, I'm so excited. Next year there will be tiny villages by February, because February is the first one, at least in the coming year, that I have finished the stitching on. I'm so excited, and I think I'll stain this because it is wood. I'll stain it, so that'll be really fun. I love wood crafts too, so oh. Anyways, I'm super excited about that. And she also included this beautiful card, which I love. I need to get a string out so I can hang my cards. She sent this beautiful chart, which I'm already trying to kit up from stash. Hope. Don't we all need it? And then a kit. And this is exciting because it's the Stitching with the Housewives kit, and I've never stitched one of their charts before. They're always so happy, so this will be delightful. Darling thread keeps, thread bobbins, all the floss I need, the fabric, which has these cool printed lines on it, and then finishing supplies, and the chart, which is so cute. Look at those sunflowers. I love, love, love it. Oh, and another chart. I forgot I tucked that in here. He has made everything beautiful in its time. I love it. The colors are really pretty on it too. Anyways, I'm so excited. This is going to be so much fun. And oh, I forgot. There's also, it's like the full set. I couldn't believe it. As I opened it, just like now, there's more and more goodies. So, thank you so much. I'm so excited. This was, I wish it was the start of summer so I could start it now. I mean, I could start it now. But I'm a seasonal stitcher, so like self-imposed. That's okay. It's something to look forward to. I'm very excited. And anyway, so a big thank you. Truly, this just came last night. It was so much fun. It was just on my porch when I went to take Grace out, and it was my Labrador. Okay, last 3 things. Anyways, and I was sitting there on the porch, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's something here. Somebody sent me something. And then I remembered the email, and that I should have been expecting it. It's more fun to forget about it, I guess. Okay, last 3 things, and then I'll let you go. I am working on gathering supplies for 3 projects, which I'm missing. Terminus. I'm missing the pattern for one. I don't. Oh. As I fall out of the chair. Oh my goodness. It's fine. We're very professional here. Okay. So, man, yeah, I bought more patterns this month than I've purchased all year long combined. Quaker Snippets by Brenda Gervais. She's beautiful. And I have a piece of Antique Lamb's wool. Oh, this is actually cut off of, this is what I tea dyed for my Autumn Village. So this is the color. It's beautiful. I thought it would be great. And then I went to start stitching. I was like, I just want a little warmer. So I tea dyed it, but I still love it. It's gorgeous. I'm stitching several things on it. And I only have 4 or 5 of the colors that are called for. And I'm going to work on substituting for the rest, but that takes brain, and I think I was tired by the time I got here. There we go. Pretty snarly. Get the hints. Okay. Anyways, I think that'll be really pretty, and what a fun autumn stitch. And I mean, I adore this Quaker with that little owl. It's just so cute. So cute. And I love the idea of a smaller project. I've definitely noticed recently I'm all about the epic projects, which is great, but they take longer to complete, I guess. So it's not that that's a bad thing. In fact, it's something I'm leaning into in my quilting going into 2026, which I know is like 3.5 months away, but I'm thinking ahead. It's what you do when you're sick and you don't have the energy for things, you just think about things. Excuse me. Anyways, so this is the Gather In, which I've seen a lot of stitchers stitching by Plum Street Samplers. And I went into Shepherd's Bush to pick up a floss because we were done at Costco, and it's right down the street. And I was like, I'm just going to grab 3 flosses. Well, I grabbed 3 flosses and these 2 patterns. It's fine. But what got me is I've always thought this was pretty, but never been super drawn to stitching it because so many people are stitching it, but because I sometimes do that to myself. But also I don't know. I just wasn't super inspired. But they had, my hair's so frizzy. They had Paulette Stewart's sample in the store. And I was standing at the register with my 1 pattern and my 3 floss, and I turned around and there it was, and I couldn't stop staring at it, and I actually backed out of line and stared at it some more, and then I was like, okay, this is spectacular. It is so beautiful. The colors are beautiful, and the acorn detail in the barn is beautiful. Everything about it just drew me in, and so I was like, okay, fine. I need to add this to my collection. And of course, what do you do when you add something to your collection is you go home and you try to kit it up, which it turns out I have nothing. I thought I would be pretty good, but like I have almost nothing. So it's okay. I just need to buy some floss at some point. Maybe this will be a November start for me. And that'll give me some time to save up for some floss, because I think there's like 10 different overdyes for this one. And the model was stitched with the called for, clearly, because it's the model. But that's how I learned that it was actually her sample. I was like, is this the called fors? And I have to say, this picture, again, even though it's a more current one, does not do it justice. The linen that they stitched it on is creamier than what shows here, and that drew me in. So that's why you'll see my fabric potentials, which I'm leaning towards this one just because it's a little less movement. Yeah, especially, yeah. This is the roof, by the way. I need more than one of them. But, you know, I was doing pretty good to have one. Anyways, It's so beautiful. It was so beautiful. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get this one kitted up. And whether or not I buy them or I try to fudge it from stash, yeah, I'm going to start this. Maybe this will be November 1st I start this. It's going to be so much fun. If you want to stitch it with me, you can. That'd be fun. I can't promise I'll keep up. And then last but not least, I have been intrigued by the idea of, so 2026 marks 250 years for the United States of America. I wasn't originally going to participate in, people are doing a big epic stitch, patriotic stitch, that they're going to try to have finished by next July. I have a few patriotic pieces. I think it's gorgeous. I've admired it for a couple of years. Every time I see somebody working on it, I thought, if I were ever to do a big giant patriotic piece, that would be the one. Because it's patriotic, but it's also summer, and it's traditional, and I don't know, there's just something so, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Those houses are intimidating. They're big. This is not a small project, which I suppose is the point. Anyway, so I've been working on kitting it up. And I had most of the supplies. I did have to buy a couple extra skeins of dolphin, and I'm still working on gathering a few more supplies. Last night when I was looking at this, I wasn't sure I would stick with the called for reds because they felt very brown. But in this light, as I'm looking at it now and chattering on, I like it. I think it's good. So, those are the colors that I have. I think I'm still missing 4 of them. But I had been given earlier this year a yard of gray Lugana. And I didn't want to stitch this on gray. I wanted something neutral, but something a little warmer so that the whites will really pop. And the gray I had was just light enough that there was question whether or not that would happen. So I overdyed it. And I don't know if it's going to show very well because it's subtle. And that was the point. I was trying to keep it subtle. So I tried dyeing with a little bit of, I think it was taupe, and maybe one other. I threw a tiny bit of marigold on and instantly knew, I was like, I put it on the edge just in case it was going to be too strong. And I was like, I have to say, marigold is strong, and that was very diluted. It's gorgeous when you want those golden colors, but yeah, this is the side I'm going to use. Anyways, but it was too strong, so I was glad that I didn't do a big blotch in the middle. I actually don't mind how it turned out. It might have been okay. It was a lot stronger. That's something about dyeing, is that dyeing fabric is that it's very strong when the fabric's wet, and it does soften a bit once it's dry. So thankfully that happened here. So this became more of a little more subtle moment. Anyways, but then I didn't really like what the dye wasn't really doing much. I don't know if I just had it too soft, but I was unwilling to go darker on and risk it going really dark. So then I just threw it in my pot of tea that I had been doing the Adas I showed you earlier, and that just gave it this really nice, very subtle, like it's still reading very gray in the camera, but you can almost sort of see that there is a soft, creamy overlay now, and that gave it the vibe it needed. So I'm really happy with how the colors look on it. I think it's gonna be really pretty. I was concerned also that a gray, this dolphin, would blend in too much, and especially where it's that big house. But then I believe that 712 is the white. That's going to show great. So, I don't know if I'll wait till the new year to start this or if I'll start it sometime now. It's probably not going to be done by the 250th, but yeah, I'm excited to work on it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. And yeah, it's good. It's good. So it'll be fun to participate in that. Okay. That's all I've got for you guys. We made it pretty well. My voice actually survived. It's feeling a little tired, but I've definitely had a little bit of laryngitis, voice loss over the last few days, so it's nice that it stuck it out for the video. Okay. I have a mess. I'm going to keep going on my samplers that I have. I'm going to have those new starts. My brain. I swear it's derailed completely at this point. It was like half derailed earlier. Now it's just off the rails. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Will I stick it out on some of these? Will I put them away and pull out spooky stitching? You know, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Time will tell. I am hoping that next week I'll be able to do a quilting video. I definitely want to get it done before October, because October I'm going to go full pretty much all Halloween sewing. I have a couple of projects underway and they're very fun. Okay, not 100%, because I'm also working on that quilt on Baker's Dozen. Anyways, I have really fun things to share. I've made stupid amounts of progress for not having my machine is still in the shop. So I didn't get the quilting, like the finalized quilting done. I've just been doing piecing, but I've gotten a lot of piecing done, and I have some quilt tops to share and something that came out of the archives and surprised me. I've kind of been pulling projects out of the archives that were started years ago, and they're getting some attention, which is very random of me, but you know, it's great. So lots to share there. That'll be fun, and I really want to get it done, filmed before we go into October. And really the last 3 months of the year are pretty themed stitching for me, both in cross stitch and in my quilting. So I do everything in season. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. I've got lots of plans. I've got big plans in the quilting world, so I'm excited to chat with that. And then I'll be back in the first or second week of October with another Flosstube, and we'll shift over in our cross stitch stitching as well. So yes, take care, my friends. I hope you're having a lovely September and that you're not getting viruses because it's a crummy time of year to be stuck inside when it's so beautiful. I'm ready. The leaves are starting to change. Just some of the tree varieties and these hills I found last year. I live along the Wasatch Mountain Range, and they turn this rusty orange color like end of September into the first couple weeks of October, and it is the most spectacular. It is so beautiful. It is only second to the snow. The snow-capped mountains take the cake, but the rusty bushes really transform the area a lot more than the trees. There are not as many trees here. It's a desert. And there are trees in the neighborhoods, you know, that have been planted over the years, but compared to my home, where, you know, you blink and you're walking into a tree. There are far fewer trees. So really, I have noticed the colors come in the bushes, and it really is beautiful along the mountain. So I'm excited for that to happen. It's just the barest hint of a change at this point. Everything's still pretty summery, but we're getting there, and I'm very excited. My heart is happy. Anyways, so take care of yourselves. I hope you get lots of stitching time in, and I'll be back soon. I've got, you know, a few videos planned for the next few weeks, so I'll be around. I'll see you there. And as always, happy stitching.